Aloha. So today I wanted to go into the whole idea of God and reading backwards, dog, and the current relationship that man has to dogs, and how the magic gets flipped backwards on us subconsciously, and we activate a mental um, and ritualistic coding as we carry out these actions. And this is the Hubble Bubble. So this book was a gift, and this is like a birthday gift for me. But you can see, like, so these are their secrets. These are also magic codes that get put out there to tell you a story, and you worship it in a sense. And only you can see only the people who can afford these books. I only got this because this was a birthday gift from like the whole family, so I couldn't go out and buy this book on my own. $50 for a damn book. Um, but yeah, imagining space and time, and these are the creators of these worlds who get their little fingers in magic and work with things in your subconscious, such as what you understand as God and your relationship to God and each other and space and nature. And that's really what I wanted to get into, was because I woke up early this morning. It's like 4 o'clock out of a dream. And I knew I wasn't gonna go back to sleep, so it's been hot recently, and I wanted to go for a little walk, a little regular walk that I do. But it turned out being really intense, considering today is 9/11 and all this stuff that's going around. And I ended up sun gazing, sitting on a spot. There's these whole little, these whole little parts around here that have big giant stones that the city puts up, and they put these in certain places because they know they can't dig, or they know that it's such an intense area that they have to pay homage to this energy or focus that energy in some kind of way for whatever kind of manipulative focus that goes with moving energy around. um, so yeah, the Hubble Bubble is another version of that. There's another like cement pavement that goes over the whole reality, the truth. Like, it goes over the essence of what this stuff is. So we can see, like, we move letters around and all this other stuff. You can see all kinds of other magic that goes within this. So yeah, the Hubble Bubble. Create limitations for your mind, your imagination, your creativity. Anyway, the main topic I want to get into was on my walk. I was realizing all these people walking early in the morning. I usually walk in the day, but you realize, there goes the moon landing. Ah. Yeah, an eye in space, just like an eye on a dollar bill. This is how the whole thing, tell you these little stories. Anyway, main thing I wanted to talk about was this whole connection, this whole, like, pretty much worshiping of the dog, and the commercial version of God that people talk about and on mainstream TV and all this other stuff. Even the whole "In God We Trust" on the dollar bill and all this other stuff. These are all they don't People who work in these worlds, they don't give a shit about people's connection to God or themselves or nature and all this other stuff. It's all about domination and control. And that was the main point I wanted to hit on with the whole like amping up of connections between human beings and the dog, and then you activate all uh, the history that goes into like the gods, the main dog god that's known around in anywhere, especially in Egypt, is Anubis. So this is underworld stuff, and all this stuff gets put out there to get activated just underneath our noses, like right underneath our space, for us to ritualistically activate in our subconscious and keep it active. Like we in a sense give permission to be dominated and controlled. So the kind of segues into those spaces are like how celebrities have. This is why celebrities have been carrying around all these dogs in their little bags and making it like trendy and all this stuff. And it's a whole setup of our mind and for us to activate our own spirits for whatever kind of code that's prepackaged for our reality. And so I'm walking around this morning and I'm seeing all these people walking these dogs in the morning. I'm like, man, there's a lot of people that get up and do this thing. It's like a ritual. It is a ritual every day. People focus more on their dogs than they do each other, themselves. Like how much time do we spend to go out and take a walk for ourselves? The majority is zero, like because we got so much time working and all this other stuff. But you go out and walk. Like, how healthy is it to walk yourself, to go out for a walk? How healthy is it for you to walk with your kids somewhere and go to the park or just walk around? And they don't even have to go do anything. Yeah, it's just to go walk. But yet we go and walk this land being dragged around by a dog, or dominating and controlling a dog so they can go out and take care of their business. But these are gap fillers. So the dog itself is a gap filler. Ritualistically, it's connected to the underworld, and it's submitting to domination and control. Another sense is the backwards God dog. The whole like throwing in the face, of a human's connection to the spirit and what they consider like the most high, or whatever it is, whatever human beings consider as what that energy is, the source. So the ritual of why, so the reason of why. So domination and control subconsciously gets triggered in us when we own a dog. So we gotta break a dog, we gotta teach a dog, we gotta train a dog. If they fuck up, we gotta like discipline this dog. We have to name a dog. We are that dog's God. And that dog understands its reality, its God, as a dominant and controlling dog. So yeah, it's magic. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So by us being trained with celebrities and old messed up stories, like crickled stories, and then you get surrounded by people. So like the gentrification of the cities around here, we've been watching this stuff for decades. It happened. So what happens is these apartment complexes get all jacked up, and then they kick people out, move people out financially and physically. Housing authority driving around all the time, making people fucking scared. I remember all this stuff. It happened across the street from my house. Like it was it's a real jacked up uh, sort of thing to experience, but we accept this stuff as like it's like, this is how it is. Just like the whole connection to the dog. That's not universal for humanity. You go into the history of man's connection to dog. It's not universal for humanity. It's a very specific story, and it touches a whole bunch of places. But the main thing I wanted to get out there is really the domination and control factor. So when we have a dog, we have to do all that stuff to own that dog, to name that dog. We put a chip inside of a dog. So these are how like we get these things like sold to us. They become okay once these things start happening. Then eventually, that dog is part of your family. Is part of who you are, and all this other stuff. And so if you can put a chip in your dog, that makes it easier for you to get a chip put inside of you. So in a sense, you are that dog's God, and you put a chip in that dog. So your God can put a chip in you. And that's what happens when your God gets put on a dollar bill, and whoever's running that dollar bill tells you, hey, you got to put a chip in you. Why? Because you are being dominated and controlled by me, your God, and we say that you got to put a chip inside of you. And you become more comfortable with that because you, as your God, you've done it already to your whatever, your own family, considered living being. And all these things get, so you can see the connections here. But the main thing I wanted to hit on, and for this video, and I'll leave it here, is just like recognizing the domination and control factors that are prepositioned, implanted, literally into our subconscious, and to do a number of things that we activate because we allow it to happen. So yeah, and then you have different people's relationships. So people judge each other based upon how they, their person, their God, that God is being dragged around by their dog, and that God is too aggressive with their dog, and that God is too such and such with that dog. And so it's just a whole little like mini world, mini domination, and many frequencies that we activate by our own actions. And so yeah, domination, control. Yeah, so I'll leave it on this. If we look further into the connections with what we consider to be like mainstream, or like part of our regular storyline, if we trace these back to the roots, we can see where these subconscious stories originate and how this magic is activated in our own space to get flipped against us. So Yeah, like I said before, the domination and control factor of you doing that to a dog makes it okay for somebody else to do it to you. And it gets sold in through Hollywood, it gets sold in through celebrities, it gets sold in through politicians, and it becomes okay to be a dog god, god dog. That's what this story is being told. So I just wanted to put that out there from my perspective, and yeah, it's just an observation that I had earlier, and I'll leave it there. So until next time, peace, love, and harmony.